Hi, this is SpookyRecapped, and today I'm going to recap the movie House of Wax. The movie starts out in 1979 when a woman is boiling wax in a pot. She's making a mask as her son is sitting quietly eating cereal. Another child is being brought in by his father. The child is uncontrollable and has to be restrained to the chair. The child cuts his mom with his fingernails, and she slaps him. We are now in the present, and we are introduced to Carly, who is talking to her friend, Paige. They're joined by Carly's boyfriend, Wade. They're going on a road trip to see a football game with their friends, and Wade is unhappy that Carly's criminal brother are joining them. When they finally hit the road, they have to take a detour because of a roadblock. They talk on the phone in their cars and decide to pull over somewhere to spend the night. They find a place to park and start setting up camp. Some of the guys start playing football when Carly and her brother Nick gets into an argument. She leaves Nick, and a strong smell hits everyone. A truck with strong headlights pulls up, blinding them. So Nick throws a beer bottle at the car, smashing one of the headlights. The truck backs up, and they all go to sleep. While they're sleeping, someone is filming them. Carly wakes up to the sound outside, and she goes out to investigate. She's being filmed, and Wade comes out to bring her back to the tent. The next morning, they have overslept, so they start to pack down camp. Wade discovers that someone has cut his fan belt, so his car cannot start. Carly and Paige notice the smell returning. When they try locating it, Carly falls down a hill. She lands in a big pile of rotting animals. Wade runs down the hill and helps her out of the pit when a truck approaches them. A strange man comes out, and Wade tells Carly about his car needing a new fan belt. The man offers Wade and Carly to ride to a nearby gas station, and they agree. Nick gives Carly his shirt, and they go with the man in his truck. When driving, he suddenly makes a hard stop as the road is flooded. They get suspicious of the man and decide to walk the rest of the way. The man gets angry as they trust the water. He drives away. The couple enters a small town and finds the gas station. Unfortunately, no one is inside. Carly calls Paige and tells her to pick them up later. They decide to go to a local church to find some help. When they enter, they walk straight into a funeral in full service. A man named Bo comes out, and they ask him who works at the gas station. Bo tells them that he's the owner and he will assist them after the funeral. He walks back into the church, and to kill some time, Carly and Wade goes to Trudy's House of Wax Museum. Wade is impressed that the whole building is made of wax. When they enter, someone is working on a sculpture downstairs, and he hears them. They look around the museum and finds out that most of the sculptures are made by somebody called Vincent. When Carly checks the mirror, she sees someone outside the window. She gets scared, and Wade goes outside to check it out. Carly gets creeped out by all the sculptures and accidentally knocks one over. She runs outside and wants to go back to the gas station to wait. Meanwhile, Blake gives the keys to his car to Nick and Dalton so they can pick up Carly and Wade. Back at the gas station, Wade cannot find the right size fan belt, and Bo tells him that he has some in his house up the road. They then walk to his house. When they get there, Wade has to use the bathroom, so Carly waits in Bo's car. When Wade is done in the bathroom, he starts snooping around the house. He discovers masks made of wax and surgical tools. Carly gets bored and exits the car. She then realizes that the car is missing a headlight and honks the horn to get Wade's attention. The light goes out, and the door is locked. a hatch in the floor is opened, and somebody cuts Wade's ankle. He swings a tool to defend himself, but is stabbed in the shoulder as well. He falls down again and is knocked out by a masked man. Carly is getting worried, so she tries calling for Paige. She leaves a voicemail when Bo returns. She locks herself in the car, and Bo gets mad. When he can't open the door, he smashes the window. Carly starts driving to shake him off, but the car gets stuck. She escapes out the back window and runs away. Meanwhile, Wade gets dragged down to a basement, where his clothes are cut off and his wounds are stitched. All of his facial hair and eyebrows are waxed off, and he's put into a strange contraption. Hot wax is being sprayed all over his body while he's still alive. Carly finds the church and enters to get help. She realizes that everyone is made of wax, and when touching one of them, an arm falls off, revealing a real human inside. The funeral is for Trudy, the owner of the museum, and she has been turned into a wax sculpture as well. Bo enters the church to look for Carly. He finds her hiding and chases her outside. He gets her on the ground and brings her back to the gas station. He turns on some music and goes down to the basement with Carly. Nick and Dalton arrive and shouts for Carly. Bo holds her mouth, and Nick and Dalton split up to look. Bo then glues Carly's mouth shut and goes upstairs to talk to Nick. Nick asks Bo if he has seen Carly. She is able to free one of her hands from the chair. She puts a finger through the grate, and Bo turns around, pretending to tie shoelaces, and cuts off her finger. Nick starts walking away when Bo gets out a sharp weapon. Carly rips open her own lips and screams for help. Bo attacks Nick, but he's able to fight back and runs inside, locking the door. Bo then suddenly disappears, and Nick goes downstairs to free his sister. Meanwhile, Dalton searches the wax museum when he sees Wade sitting at a piano. He realizes that he has been turned into a sculpture and tries peeling off the wax when he's attacked from behind. He tries escaping but falls down the stairs and gets killed by the masked man. Nick tries knocking on an old lady's window when he sees that she's a sculpture as well and she has been rigged. Blake checks his phone and hears the voicemail from Carly. Paige then wakes up and the masked man is inside of her tent. She runs outside and finds Blake on the ground with a knife in his neck. She then runs into an old building and hides in an old car. An iron spear is thrown and her head gets impaled. Meanwhile, Nick finds a crossbow when Bo tries shooting them from behind. They run into an old cinema and hides among the sculptures. Bo enters and looks for them, but is shot in the arm by an arrow. Nick and Carly runs out, and Nick shoots Bo again, this time hitting his chest. They go back to Bo's house to look for a phone, but none of them work. Carly then finds out that Bo and the masked man are born conjoined twins, and the masked man's real name is Vincent. They are the sons of Trudy. Bo enters the house as he has survived. He pulls out the arrow in his arm and breaks off the one in his chest. Vincent comes home and he has brought back Paige and Blake's bodies. Vincent is fixing his mask while Nick and Carly goes downstairs to the basement. When trying to turn on the lights, they accidentally turn on the whole town. Bo and Vincent sees this, and they now know exactly where they are. Nick then sees his friend Dalton in the contraption and tries to get him out, but his head comes clean off. Vincent attacks them, and him and Nick starts fighting, accidentally knocking over a big pot of wax. The wax catches fire, so Carly and Nick runs upstairs. They are met with Bo, and him and Nick starts fighting as well, while the house is starting to melt. Bo stabs Nick in the leg, but before being able to kill him, Carly hits Bo in the head with a baseball bat. She then smashes his head repeatedly, killing Bo. Vincent sees his dead brother and starts chasing Carly up the stairs. She tries blocking the door, but Vincent cuts through the warm wax. He enters the room, and Nick tries to get up the stairs while the museum is melting to the ground. Nick wrestles Vincent and sees his real face under the mask. When Vincent is about to kill Nick, Carly pulls out the knife of Nick's leg, stabbing Vincent. He falls down through the floor, lands on his brother, and they are submerged into the wax. Carly and Nick start sticking their way out as the museum is melting fast. They luckily make it out just in time, and the house of wax burns behind them. In the morning, police and an ambulance arrives, and Nick and Carly are driven away. The sheriff gets a call, and he finds out that Trudy didn't just have 2 sons, but 3. We then see the man from earlier waving goodbye to the ambulance as the movie ends. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content like this. And stay spooked, people.